Welcome back to Simple Mind Space, the podcast dedicated to helping you master your money and your mind. Today, we're diving into a complex and frankly unnerving economic situation that has many people scratching their heads. Why does it feel like we're in a recession, even when the numbers say we're not? It's a question that's on a lot of people's minds these days. We see rising costs everywhere, hear about job losses, and feel the squeeze on our wallets. It certainly feels like a recession. And yet, economists and financial experts keep telling us that, technically, we're not in one. So, what's the deal? To understand this discrepancy, we need to dissect the situation, peel back the layers of economic data, and understand what's happening beneath the surface. Because while the official indicators might paint one picture, the reality for many individuals and families feels entirely different. Let's start with the elephant in the room. The unmistakable sense of economic downturn that's permeating our society. Go to any grocery store, try to fill up your gas tank, or even think about entering the housing market, and you'll be met with the harsh reality of rising costs. This isn't just about tightening our belts. For many, it's about making difficult choices just to make ends meet. Adding fuel to the fire are the stories we hear about layoffs, particularly in sectors like tech, which were once considered relatively secure. The job market, once a beacon of opportunity, suddenly seems precarious, leaving many feeling uncertain about the future. These experiences are real, tangible, and deeply impactful. So when we hear that we're not technically in a recession, it can feel jarring, almost dismissive of the very real struggles people are facing. To bridge this gap between perception and official economic data, we need to understand how a recession is typically defined. The most common benchmark is 2 consecutive quarters of negative gross domestic product, GDP, growth. GDP, in essence, is a measure of a country's economic output, how much is being produced and spent. When GDP shrinks for 2 quarters in a row, it's a sign that the economy is contracting, and that's the traditional signal of a recession. Here's where the plot thickens. While many of the factors we associate with a recession are present, rising unemployment, decreased consumer spending, and a decline in business investment, the overall GDP hasn't quite dipped into negative territory for 2 consecutive quarters. It's been teetering on the edge, with a negative quarter followed by a quarter of almost stagnant growth, but it hasn't crossed that specific threshold. This is where the term per capita recession comes in. While the overall economy might be growing, or at least not shrinking enough to qualify as a recession, the growth might be primarily driven by population increase rather than increased productivity or individual prosperity. Think of it this way. Imagine a town with a single bakery. The bakery is doing okay, selling a steady number of loaves of bread each day. Then 100 new residents move to town. The bakery, now needing to serve more people, sees an increase in sales. They might even hire more staff. From the outside, it looks like the bakery is booming. But if you look closely, you realize that while more bread is being sold overall, the number of loaves sold per person has actually decreased. In essence, the pie is bigger, but the slices are smaller. This is a simplified illustration of what a per capita recession might look like on a national scale. While the overall GDP might be growing due to factors like population increase, the economic reality for the average person might be one of stagnation or even decline. They might be spending less, have less disposable income, and feel the pinch of rising costs more acutely. So what's driving this phenomenon? In many countries, including Canada, immigration plays a significant role. An influx of new residents, while positive for many reasons, also puts a strain on existing resources from housing to jobs. This can lead to increased competition, driving up prices and making it harder for individuals to maintain their standard of living. The situation is further complicated by factors like inflation, global economic uncertainty, and supply chain disruptions, all of which contribute to the feeling of economic instability. It's not just one factor, but a confluence of events that have created this perfect storm, leaving many feeling like they're weathering a recession, even if the official economic indicators haven't quite caught up. So, where do we go from here? Acknowledging this discrepancy between the official narrative and the lived experiences of individuals is crucial. Understanding that we might be in a per capita recession helps us make sense of the economic realities around us. It's important to remember that economic indicators, while useful, don't always tell the whole story. Behind the numbers are real people, families, and communities grappling with the day-to-day challenges of making ends meet in an uncertain economic climate. In this environment, it's more important than ever to be financially savvy, to prioritize saving, and to explore ways to diversify income streams. It's also crucial to advocate for policies that address the root causes of this economic disparity, ensuring that the benefits of economic growth are shared equitably. We're living in complex and challenging times, but by understanding the forces at play, we can navigate these turbulent waters with greater awareness and resilience. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Simple Mind Space for more deep dives into the world of personal finance and personal growth. Until next time, remember to stay informed, stay empowered, and keep striving for financial and personal well-being.